I've never experienced anything like this.
Never? Yeah,
Never.
me too.
I've never experienced anything like
anything like that long.
Anybody that's out there that's an agent that's sick and tired of giving their money to make other people rich, this is the answer. 100%. This is the answer.
And one of the things, we'll sort of start to go through, I guess some of those questions that I have is, what do you think you do differently to other agents out there, Bjorn, that's really working for you? And I probably know the answer, but I get your wonderful trading every week to myself. So deal with the rest of people. What are you doing that's different?
The value proposition that we can give to vendors, nobody else can match it, nobody else can beat it.
Okay.
So you don't lose listings. I haven't lost a listing at eXp in 8 months. So, and I've come up again against some big guns, and I haven't lost a listing.
Why is that, do you think?
Well, because with a traditional agency, everybody goes to a listing with exactly the same format. And the format is, how can this person make me money, and how much money is this going to put into my pocket? And they all have to charge $3,000 to $4,000 up front before they go to work for the client. I go into the client's living room and I have a conversation and find out who they are, what they're trying to do, when they're trying to do it, where they're trying to go, and why they're doing what they want to do. And I just have a conversation. I don't have anything flashy with me. It's all there if I need it, but I don't go pulling out this and that. They don't care about all of that. And what they do want is they want someone who's going to go to work for them before they actually charge them.
Yep.
Now,
someone they trust.
And someone they trust. So I say to them, okay, guys, so you've got all these other real estate agents that are coming into your living room and they want $3,000 or $4,000 up front and they want to lock you in for 90 days, yeah? And they'll go, yes. I said, okay, well, hi, my name's Bjorn. What's your name? Rebecca. Rebecca, let's go get married. And they go, what do you mean? I said, well, that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. They're asking for you to marry them and be locked in with them for a 90-day period, whether you like them or not, before you even know who they are, what they can do for you, and whether they're the right agent for you. What I would like to do is I would like to spend some of my money to get buyers through your home, to prove myself, to show that I can get you the results and deliver on the results that you require to move forward to help you with the situation. So before we get married, why don't we date a little bit? Let me come out. Let me get some buyers through. Let me give you some feedback of anything that we need to change. Let me give you some feedback on price. Let me give you some feedback on where the buyers feel there's a tension and that needs to be taken care of. So, this needs to be fixed, that needs to be fixed, this needs painting, whatever. And then we can sit down and we can analyze that and we can say, okay, based on that, we should maybe do X, Y, and Z. And moving forward, I think this would be a good strategy for you. Or we might even have offers on the table. Now, I did 68 transactions last year. It's not the hugest in the world, but I had a life. I did that basically working part-time while I'm spending time with my kids, going camping, going fishing. So I've got a life back, which I never had before in real estate. In 14 years, I never had a life. My life was just real estate. Now I've got a life. I work from home.
I feel you on that. I
work from home. My daughter's out there, so she gets to see her dad every day. And basically, with the value proposition that you're giving a vendor, when you're proving, let's go to work for you first, of those 67, 68, what is it? Hold on. Let me get the numbers right, sorry. Of the 67 transactions last year, 25 of them were all handled with a no sale, no charge value proposition to a vendor. And those 25 sales equate to about 250 grand in GCI. All right. So it's just all math. If you forget about anything else to do with eXp and you just look at, if you understand year 2 math, you understand percentages and how to add up and subtract and multiply, eXp is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
It makes sense.
It's a no-brainer.
It makes sense. I have another question for you.
Yep.
And without, obviously we're not going to talk about agents. We're not going to talk about brands or anything like that. Just on a general consensus, aside from being in it for ourselves, what are some of the really common mistakes you are watching people make out there in terms of agents?
With what they're doing, the biggest one is asking people for thousands of dollars up front before you've done any work. It's just stupid. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just stupid. It's real estate 1765. It's 2021, guys. Like, seriously, I can. That's the biggest mistake that agents are making. Agents are doing things the same way that they've always been doing them, and they're in the same traditional models. And it's 2021. Like, I don't go to Blockbuster Video anymore to go hire DVDs, 2 weeklies and 2 new releases for $9.95.
I've actually learned a couple of these things,
you know,
from you. Isn't it funny that we all learn from each other, and we never stop learning? But a couple of things that I have learned from Bjorn, for those that are on the call, because Bjorn's an icon agent, and he does training probably once a month, maybe even a little bit more, for our guys. And one of the things I have learned from you, Bjorn, is not to stand in my own way. Now, I currently have a listing that is 3 hours away from me. The owner insisted on my doing it for her. I will never meet the owner, I'll never meet the buyer, and I'll probably never see the property. Due to COVID, we were restricted with what we could do. But because of what you had taught me, Bjorn, in terms of ways around that, and being able to get a property marketed for as little as a few $100s through some of the systems that you're using, I was able to get that property up online for a couple of $100s, and we now have 3 offers on the property. I launched it late last week.
Well, let me give you an example, Emily. I've got 13 people in my team, okay? And I'm here to help every single one of them. Krish Gajira joined us, worked for a previous company for about 12 months, okay? He has done more transactions in the past 3 months than he did in his entire career at that previous agency. He's just capped, which means he's done $100,000 in gross commission income, which means he's been receiving 75% commission right up until now. And it's 75%. It's not 75%. Oh yeah, minus the admin fee, and oh yeah, minus the 7%
minus franchise fees, minus your desk fee, minus your printing, minus.
People say to me, "Oh, I'm on 65% at the moment." Are you? What's your franchise fee? Oh, that's 9%. Okay, so 65 minus 9%. That's what you're on. Let's be real about the numbers. At eXp, you're a clean 75% for the first 100K. Now, Chris has already earned 75 grand in income. Okay, in 3 months. Now he's on 100% commission. Once he completes 20 transactions, the company's going to reward him with equity in the business to the tune of up to $25,000 worth of equity in the business, which is saleable at any given point in time. Krish is building his own rent roll. Each rental is worth about 3.5 grand in the marketplace. Now, rent rolls are a pain in the ass. They're a headache. I don't want to be a property manager. No way. But
nor do I, but I certainly want the asset and years to come.
Now, eXp don't touch your asset. If there's a few ways you can join eXp as a PAYG, which is what I am, just a commission-only agent, or you can be a sole trader. Now, once you're a sole trader and you've got your RLA, in South Australia and in Queensland, there's a company called Lulu Live. Now, all we have to do is sign up the rental at 6.6%, which takes 5 minutes, and then we hand pump ball it to Lulu Live. We don't touch it or do anything with it ever again. It's a full digitalized high-tech system. So, for example, that 3.5 grand asset is now mine, but Lulu Live manage it and they collect the 6.6% fee from it. All right.
Yeah.
Now, with that asset, that's a saleable asset in the future that I don't have to touch. Now, when a tenant has an issue, oh, hello, property manager. Yeah, my tap's not working. Okay, we'll send out a plumber. And then it's just, they've done something stupid. Lulu Live,
nightmare.
My tap's not working. They go on a website. My tap's not working. Which tap? Sink, bathroom, kitchen, sink, shower, whatever. Okay, it's the kitchen. What's it not doing? Is it the hot or cold? It's the hot. And it gives them a checklist, a self-checklist of things to do so they can solve their own problem.
Do you know what I love the most about it though? Most other things that I have looked at, I would have to look after it. I would have to grow the rent roll. But most importantly, even if I look at some of the other, I guess, competitors out there, they still want a part of my rent roll. And I think part of the beauty of eXp is that it's about the agents, for the agents, and even myself being in corporate, I am still an agent and I still very much think like an agent. And so when there are proposed changes, I just think, oh, what would my business partners think about that? Because that's how I see the agents.
Yeah.
And what would I as an agent think about that? And I've certainly looked at a lot of other, I guess, brands that are out there where they wanted up to about 50% of my personal asset. And I just think it doesn't really work for me. That goes a little bit more into traditional than what I want.
No. I can grow a rent roll now. They're worth about $3.5 for each property management, and I can pick up 8 or 9 of them a month easily, and it's set and forget.
Yep.
So I've got that as an asset. So when I retire in 10 years' time, I could have, you know, a saleable asset of 500-600 grand. I'll reach icon each and every single year. I've already capped out this year, 3 months, and by the end of this month, I'm about 8 sales away from reaching icon again. Okay, so that's another. I've already got a portfolio on my phone, which is worth about 57,000 Australian dollars, if I'm allowed to say that or not, in equity in the business. That's part of it is I've salary sacrificed 5% of my wages to buy equity at a 10% discount. Yep. People that want to know more about that can reach out.
I haven't, and still my equity in the business is looking pretty good.
Well,
and I guarantee you, there's when you look at some of the others out there, you're not going to get that equity.
Well, not including the purchased equity, okay, because I think we've got to use the word equity here. Yes. What I'm looking at right now is, just bear with me for a moment. I'm just bringing it up.
You're opening up your app, aren't you?
I'm opening up my app. Okay, it's 24.23 thousand US dollars. So 24 times 1.5. It's about 36,000 Australian dollars. Last year to be in eXp, it cost me $32,640 to be in the business. So they're basically paying me to be at eXp. And I'm keeping 100% of my commission. So if you understand maths, it's an absolute no-brainer, right? I did 437K at Weeks and Macklin. Fantastic company, great director, Max Demerick.
Yep.
I had to pay a personal assistant about 70 grand. I was on a 70% commission split plus super, and there was no fees out of it. So I was on a huge commission split. My income was about 250 grand. Okay. Now at eXp, last year I did in the first 12 months, 478,884 in GCI. I paid eXp 32,640. Do the maths, guys. I'm about 200 grand a year better off at eXp than what I was. I'm going to be something like $2 to $3 million better off after 10 years. And that's not even including growing a team where I actually receive a small portion of eXp's revenue. Yep. There's $41,000 a year coming in from the 13 agents that are in my team now. And all I do is support them and I help them. And I want to talk about agent collaboration, Em. Yes. This is important, right? This is very
I'm going to get into that, but please, because I want everybody on this phone call not to hear it from me, but to hear it from the people who are actually experiencing it.
So Callum Kennedy, he's the youngest licensed agent in South Australia. He may even have been the youngest. He was a licensed at 17 years old. All right, he's 22 years old now.
I saw that the other day and thought, what?
Yeah, this guy's full of ideas. I want to do this on Facebook. I want to do this on YouTube. I want to do this on Instagram. In his franchise, no. That's not how it's done. I want to do this. No. I want to do that. No. It was just a total lockdown of freedom. At eXp, he's running Facebook ads. This guy's got listings coming out of his ears at the moment. Now, he joined my team, all right? He said, Bjorn, can you come to an appraisal with me? Yes, no worries. So I went and joined him at an appraisal, and I helped him list up this property in Ingle Farm for this elderly gentleman. And he needed a rent back scenario. He'd had 4 or 5 agents come out, and they all pitched the same old rubbish thing to him, the same old pitch that everybody else does, right? And it was great 5 years ago maybe, but it's over now. We said to him, let us get some buyers through. What price do you want? I want 460. Anyway, long story short, no sale, no charge, risk-free selling. We didn't spend any money on it except for $50 on a Facebook boost post. Callum's now got a sale on that particular property. The guy's got $475,000 for it. Callum's got himself an $11,000 commission with a cashback. Callum came to my house when we were processing the paperwork and said, Bjorn, what do I owe you? I said, Callum, you don't owe me nothing. I'm here to help you. I'm your sponsor. I'm here to help you in the company to get listings and help you with sales. Then the family said, oh, we don't want to sell. Sorry, we don't want to sell. Callum was like, oh, we've lost it. And I said, no, we haven't, mate. Picked up the phone. Guys, family meeting. Sat down there with Callum for 2 hours with the family, got the brother there, the sister there, the grandkids there, everybody there, because they thought we were typical real estate agents out to screw over the old man, all right? Which I understand and I get it. And excuse me, guys, if I'm very straight to the point and abrupt, but I'm just a no BS kind of guy, all right? I don't like fluff. I just said to them, guys, in a normal market, a subject to sale may be something that's considered, but your father's not going to buy anything with a subject to sale because he needs another property. The only way is to secure a sale on his property, but we've actually managed to get a rent back at $300 a week, which is about $150 below market value for your father. So myself and Callum and the entire eXp team in South Australia, which all collaborate together, can then help your father to find another home. And they're like, oh, we didn't realize that. Dad didn't tell us that. Okay, cool. No worries. Sale's still on. Now, Callum's rang me back up. Bjorn, man, I would have lost that sale if it wasn't for you, mate. Like, what do you want? Do you want halves? Do you want to go halves this? No, Callum, I don't want nothing, mate. I just want you to get up and running. But then Callum comes to my open inspections with me. We have two agents at every open. One of them will be the agent that's representing the property, and they might have an agreement with the associate agent that wants to join them. But when buyers come through a property and they see two agents at an open inspection, it impresses them, and buyers are sellers, and we're getting listings. We're listing properties, and we've only been around here, and the brand isn't that well known. And we started this in South Australia 15 months ago. We've grown to 13 agents. I know there's other small independent agencies that have been around for 10 years that have got 3 agents. I looked at this when it was shown to me, and I had a premonition, and I looked at it and I thought, 75% commission up to 100K, okay. Fully online, cloud support, technology based. This is Amazon, this is Uber, this is Uber Eats, this is, you see this microphone here? I didn't buy this in the shop. I bought it on Amazon. I don't go to Teaching Plaza to shop anymore unless it's for clothes.
People are buying houses in Sydney and particularly Melbourne right now.
The world's changed.
It's
2021. The world's changed, Em. And in a digital era, especially with COVID is the absolute brilliant. I know COVID sucks, and I'm not saying anything good about COVID.
No, we can't change
really
it, so we might as well change how we feel about it.
We can't yet. All we can do is how we interact with it. Now, when we had COVID come along first in 2020, before I joined eXp, Bjorn, go home. Can I have access to the computer because I've got clients that I need to communicate with? No, why not? Because of security. Max, I've been with you for 10 years. 10 years, mate. Do you trust me? I do, but I can't give you access to remote access login. Well, I can't work then, mate. Well, you can't work for 2 weeks. Okay, well, that's not good enough in my eyes. My clients need me. Sorry, Max. That was a real.
Here it would have been 18 months, so 236 days currently if you weren't allowed in the office.
It's ridiculous. At eXp, you can still transact. We had a second lockdown here in SA, and I sold a couple of houses and listed a couple of houses. So I'm COVID proof. My business is untouchable. My business is booming. There's more money than what I've ever had that I could ever imagine. It's basically doubled, right? It has doubled. I worked it out the other day. It's like 100 and something % increase on what I was doing previously. That's not even including the revenue share from other agents who I'm helping them change their lives because they're on crappy little 55% deals with their principal at blah, blah real estate. And I looked at this and I thought, so let me get this right. You've got the tech, you've got the support because we've got full admin support. We've got the corporate support. I've got 24-hour tech support. I've got backing of 62,000 other agents over 18 countries. How the hell is Kunzel Estates, which is what I always wanted to do, how the hell, if I start Kunzel Estates, am I A, ever going to employ anyone when there's models like this out there? B, going to keep my doors open? And C, pay for an office and all the rest of it? It's just a money pit. I've got my name above the door and that's all I've got. And I looked at this and I realized that this was going to be, and when I joined, there was only 27,000 agents. I looked at this and I knew that this was going to be the biggest revolution in real estate that I've ever seen, because anybody that understands year 2 mathematics and isn't scared, eXp is an absolute no-brainer. Okay, now there's other models out there.
Mic drop.
There's other boom. There's other models out there. Okay, area specialist. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I looked at it. They don't offer the equity position of the company, and it's more expensive per month. So $1,500 a month or whatever. I'm $220 a month. All right. I've got other avenues.
The fact that I've essentially opened. Now I'm going to get started on the slides in a minute. I love the fact, Bjorn, that I've essentially opened, and I've wanted to forever, right? For 15 years, I've wanted to open my own office, but I've always just looked at the guys that have run the offices and gone, I don't want to give someone $500,000 to open an office. I don't want to deal with office politics. I don't want to pay all those overheads. I don't want all of that responsibility. And don't get me wrong, growing a team and nurturing people to have amazing lives and businesses is a massive responsibility, but far less of a responsibility if that is the only component to it.
Yeah. The thing is, it's too expensive to own your own company. Okay, it's too expensive. It doesn't go anywhere, right? There's a gentleman that owns a company here in Adelaide, really nice guy. Our kids are in the same class together. We went to sports day the other day. He come up to me and goes, Bjorn, if I hadn't invested over $500,000 on 2 buildings and running an office, I'd be with you guys at the drop of a hat. He goes, because I've got my name above 2 buildings. Yeah. It cost me about $60,000 a month just to keep the doors open. So that's 60 grand he needs to bring in. He's running a property management with a rent roll, and they're doing all the property management as well. Yeah. So he's got the asset. He said, mate, my goal is to build this company up 10 years time. I'll have probably a rent roll worth a couple of $1 million, and I'm just going to sell it. And then I might come and join you guys and just work part-time and just selling property here and there with eXp.
He could just spend the next decade still building that same rent roll and his team. And anyway, what would we know? Get onto the slides, shall we?
Get in there. Yep, let's do it.
Get in there. All right, guys. So, Bjorn, I just want to say a massive thank you to you for taking your time. I know you're incredibly busy, coming on here and sharing your gold. And like I said, I don't want it to just come from me. I want the people in the business to be doing the talking for us. And we had that last week and this week as well. So thank you so much. I want to jump right into everything eXp, guys. Okay. You've heard everything from Bjorn, and I will relay some stuff back to that particular discussion as we go on. But there are a couple of different ways that you can join eXp. That might be as an independent contractor. You'll have your full license for that and carry your own insurances. You may choose to have your own brand in association with eXp. I myself actually went that way to begin with, and then unbranded to just eXp. And the cool thing about eXp is you get to decide. So that's awesome. Commission-only agents, you will see subject to eligibility there. Now, what I mean by that is most of you will be aware that it's definitely not our rules, but it is the government's ruling. And that is that over the last few years inside of 12 months, you would need to prove that you have earned $60,000 or more in commissions to be a commission-only agent. And of course, we are talking to some large teams, people who do currently own businesses, people whose franchise agreements are coming to an end, and we have some slightly different structures that could be in place for them as well, and that is super cool and exciting. Of course, being licensed in all 5 of the states that you see there, of course, compliantly, we would need all 5 trust accounts, of course, at the same time. Now, I added this slide today because Bjorn, you've actually covered off a lot of it, to be honest.
Sorry.
But I just want to give you my main reasons for joining as an agent. Corporate head off. Why did I decide on it? I already said ability to build a team, open an office for a couple of $100. I earn revenue share from that. I love that that's revenue share from the company dollar. It doesn't come out of any agent's pockets. That's awesome. There's no massive investment for me. I don't have to put up with the office politics. I don't get locked out at 1 minute past 8 if I'm not in an 8 o'clock sales meeting. I don't have to attend a sales meeting, albeit that they are there if I want to attend them, right? But it's not a compulsory thing. Freedom. I wanted to be able to work anywhere that I wanted to. In the past, I've been subject to, you're only in this area, and then people would walk into my open for inspection and want to list their property with me, but because they were on the other side of that particular street, I wasn't allowed to list their house. And quite often, because people pick agents, they don't pick a brand. It doesn't matter if you're from the same brand. If they like Bjorn, they might not like me, and that's okay. And we actually used to lose a lot of listings for that reason, because they had already picked me and I wasn't allowed to list it. That was an issue. This is a really important one, this next one.
Emily, I can't see. It says I'm sharing your screen, but I can't see your slides.
You can't see my slides?
No, I don't know if everyone else can. It just says reader chat work, eXp explained and post Zoom attendee on the top.
Okay, thank you.
So you might want to just check that out.
Can you see it now?
Yes, we're in. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Thank you.
No
all right.
worries.
So there's the slide I was just talking about. Here's the slide I'm talking about. So these are my reasons for joining. Right. So work anywhere without boundaries. This next one. My database is mine. It is not intellectual property. I do not spend every day, hour, or waking moment of my real estate career working towards building something for somebody else, where if I decide to unpartner with that particular company, every single thing I have worked towards is gone.
Emily, the agents that have joined us had to leave their databases behind. Who cares? Doesn't matter. They're still kicking ass over the agency that they left without a database,
But
because it's 2021.
The other day, Bjorn, I did say, I totally get that, and you'd have to leave that database behind. And I actually understand that, I really do. But do you want to work another 5 years of building someone else's database?
No.
Yeah, it's not intellectual property. So for me, and I never want to leave eXp, but if I choose to tomorrow, I walk out of here with all my current listings. They'll download my database and send it to me and delete it from their end. They'll even sign across my solds from my REA profile. Are you kidding me? No one else, no one in 15 years has done that I know of.
Can I add something here, Emily?
Yeah.
There's a Zig Ziglar quote, and our founder, Glenn Stanford,
That's very eXp.
lives by it, right? This is the most important thing for anyone watching this. You need to understand it all stems down from the top. This is the direction of our leader. If you help enough people get what they want, you in return will receive everything that you've ever wanted. Yeah. So the mindset behind eXp is they own nothing. The agents own everything, and it belongs to us, because guess what? If you're in a good marriage and you don't beat your wife's not going to leave you. I know that
no one's beating their wives.
No, but this is what I'm saying. When you're in the franchise models, it's basically abuse. This whole you don't own your database thing, this law needs to change. This law needs to change. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's been lawsuits around the country because of it. And it's the way of the franchise owner locking you in. It's the way of the abuser locking in the person who's getting abused and preventing them from actually taking charge of their life and breaking the cycle of abuse. And it's the only reason why we don't have 20,000 agents with eXp in Australia right here today, is because the fear of some agents that they're going to have to lose their data. I guarantee you, I'm speaking to hundreds of people, Emily. The only fear they have is the fact that they've got to lose their database.
Yeah.
If the rules change,
commission is the other one, because they're quite worried that if they do choose to leave and there's still commission owed to them, that it's not going to be paid. And hand on my heart, we'll pay commission too.
It has to by law. One of our guys ended up in a small claims court with his principal of the franchise. And the small claims court turned around and said, mate, you can't withhold commissions. And he actually got paid all of his commissions, and then a settlement on top of that for being mucked around. So they do have to give you your commissions. But this here is the way real estate should be. I've been searching for eXp for 14 years since I started real estate. Even when I started, I said, this is rubbish. This whole join a franchise, give away 50% of your income. This is crap. I'm doing all the work. And to be honest, brands, anybody that thinks that brands matter, guys, brands do not matter. I started this eXp thing as the first guinea pig in South Australia where nobody knew eXp, and my numbers were up in the first 12 months compared to what they were at a brand that's been around since 1973, before I was born. People don't care about the brand. People care about the value proposition that's pointed to them. I've always had a joke that I could call myself whatever I wanted to. Dogs, testicles, real estate. People would not care. People do not care about brand in 2021. I guarantee you, I'm telling you, we're beating the big brands left, right, and center every single day. Our guys that have come on and you guys that have come on, right? They're getting listings that they couldn't get before at their old franchises because of the value proposition that we can give. So eXp as a brand counts because of the way that it works for the agents, but all of your other big brands anymore, they don't mean anything, and they're all just dwindling away. They're blockbuster video stores waiting to close. I'm sorry, but they are. Even the biggest one, even the big one that everyone knows about, they've got to change and catch up. Otherwise, their staff are going to be leaving in droves real fast.
All right, let's crack on. 75 to 100% of your commission. Bjorn's already touched on that. Why would I settle for less? I don't know why people are. Ownership in a global business, guys. This business is currently in 18 different countries with in excess, and I can't say the new figures just yet until they release them in the news, but in excess of 60,000 agents and growing at a pace of around 1,000 agents per week. So that's huge. And you've already touched on the support and the free training and the collaboration. And as a business leader, I learn things from my agents all the time. Like, they are my business partners. We are all equal in this business, and that's how we all see it. You touched on Glenn Sanford, and absolutely, all of what you said is true. That Zig Ziglar, quote, it is true. He was talking about that just the other day. You can have everything you want. You just got to help as many people as you can get what they want, and that is what this is all about. It is help other people have amazing lives and businesses, and then you can have that too. And you can build a team and get revenue share. We had a guy the other day that's just turned, I think, 45, and he retired. He's still part of eXp, doesn't have to work anymore. I want that to be my life in 10 years from now. Thank you very much. And there we go. The explosive growth. We're looking at opening at least 3 countries per quarter over the next 24 months. Imagine how big that's going to be. And part of the cool thing is, I don't have to just grow my team in Australia. We have people here that have grown their team in the UK, in Canada, in the USA, in India, all sorts of countries across the globe. And it's just phenomenal that we're part of a business that's not only been able to do that and deliver that, but particularly throughout a global pandemic, we're still able to list and sell. We're still able to collaborate. We're still able to have massive big conferences and virtual events. And the proof's in the pudding, guys. You can see some of the numbers in front of you. It's absolutely phenomenal. Again, Bjorn, you touched on the is Blockbuster waiting to shut down. We look at some of the left-hand side brick and mortar locations, and then we look at the right-hand side and go, really can't argue with that. I cannot tell you the last time I brought something from a shop.
This is the biggest one, Emily. This is why you want to be with eXp. Right? If we were another real estate company with another office somewhere, whatever, it's much of a muchness. RW, HC, whatever, LJ, you know what? They're all the same but different. The Asian t-shirt that you go when you go to Thailand, same but different. We're a completely different box of real estate. And the thing I want to stress here, for people that compare us to Purple Bricks, in all due respect to Purple Bricks, we are not. You
wouldn't have joined otherwise.
Anything like Purple Bricks, which was a do-it-yourself model to a certain degree. Now, I wasn't with Purple Bricks. You've had experience with them. We won't go into that. But we are not Purple Bricks. And people that say we're the next Purple Bricks, guys, keep kidding yourselves, because we're going to be the biggest real estate network in the world, and we're already on track to do that. So you either make the wave, which is what eXp is doing. You ride the wave by joining eXp, or I'm sorry, but you're going to get wiped out by the wave. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
And I was just talking about being a part of we can't change what's happening around the world at the moment. We can change what we're doing, how we're going about business, and of course how we feel about it at the same time. So you can see here you've got real-time support. I can get tech help. We can have big massive meetings. We can have big massive conferences, you name it. I just want to point out that here you see today's events. That is up to 56 different trainings from global icon agents around the globe, the Bjorns of this world. They're just giving it out for free. You don't have to go and get a real estate coach and somebody to call you every day to tell you what you should be doing. It is handed to you on a platter, and it's all there, and it's for free. It's phenomenal. But let's cut to the chase, right? Let's get to the nuts and bolts, because you've heard enough of the story now. You know how we all feel about the place. You're all going, yeah, okay. Uh, what is it? What's the nuts and bolts? Obviously, no desk fees. We don't have desks. You can have a desk if you want to. I choose not to. Royalty fees or franchise fees. None of that. Absolutely none of that. There are only 3 costs that you need to worry about in eXp. Your startup cost, 199 plus GST. Your monthly fee, 199 plus GST. And your $250 plus GST at settlement. That's it. There's no big long line of costs. That's it. It's really simple to understand. And everyone, and I've got to try, sorry, I was just changing this before we jumped on because our commission split has just gone up actually.
75, 25.
25 on your initial 100, right? Bjorn was just saying that he's capped. So that means Bjorn is currently getting 100% of everything that he touches. And he's paying a little over $55 not even $55 a week for his entire office. That is absolutely ridiculous almost. Nobody
Emily,
else is going to be able to offer that.
I could go on a 9-month holiday after the settlements this month, and my income would still be about $300,000 for the year.
Yeah.
In my pocket net. Forget about GCI, net income would still be close to 300K. So I can go on 9 months holidays now if I want to, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna keep helping the other people in my team starting out.
I didn't convince you, remember? I told you to take some time off and you said no.
Emily, I work part-time.
I know.
It's not full-time. You don't have to be full-time at eXp to do the numbers. You've got the tech there to help you. Like the things that my personal assistant I was paying 70 grand a year for, we've now got another tech platform called Active Pipe, which is an additional cost that I pay for, $134 a month, that takes care of a PA's role.
Yeah,
so I've swapped, what's that? 134
Don't
bucks
too
a month.
many of our secrets on this webinar.
Couple of grand versus 70 grand for a PA doing things the old fashioned way. Like, it's 2021, guys. Seriously.
And you were talking about equity opportunity. And I want to reiterate that eXp is agent owned, agent grown, and cloud based. So all the agents that are a part of eXp all have equity within this global company, which is something that Bjorn touched on before. Bjorn is also an icon agent. So he touched on that again, where it was funny. He said, they're almost paying me to be here. It's ridiculous. You know, once you hit that status. And of course, you know, I think you're part of the equity program as well. You mentioned where you can put 5% of your of every transaction into equity as well at a discounted rate, which, look, I'm actually not part of. Listening to you, Bjorn, maybe I should be.
Emily, I just done a quick calculation. The way things are going, I'm talking that's an extra $675,000 roughly if things don't change. And we traded on the NASDAQ as well, right? So this is legitimate business. And that's just additional. That's just an additional retirement fund. My superannuation won't even have that in it the way it's heading, you know? So
that's a good point. My super won't be quite that much. So, you know, it's absolutely helping. The agent icon award, you know, it's getting all that back from the businesses and in different components and different ways, but we can cover more off on that, you know, if you decide that this is absolute for you. Revenue share is probably one of my biggest whys of coming to eXp, and for me it's not about getting from others, it's about they're taking on that responsibility of helping other people to have great businesses, have that lifestyle, and helping them to have what they want, right? Because it might be something different for every individual. For every person that I myself introduce, I will get up to $3,500 per year for up until they cap for each of those people. But of course, if I invite Bjorn in to join my team, Bjorn's going to want to join and do his own thing and build his own team as well. And then he's going to go out and he's going to say, hey, John, mate, you really need to get into this eXp thing, you know, and so on and so forth. And that actually gets bigger and better as time goes on, it actually goes 7 different layers deep. Now, I do want to reiterate here that when you see the right-hand column, those are the qualifiers needed in order to open the next tier. So, you know, some agents will have opened tier 5. Some might be all the way through to 7. But you will get paid on all of that if you have done that, and that is introducing 40 agents. Now, here's a little bit of what that could possibly look like. Now, it's going to be different for every individual person. It's going to take a different time frame for every individual person. Some people are not interested in this side of the business whatsoever. And the cool thing about eXp is that's cool too, because you get to decide. It's almost customizable, if you will, which is something that I personally loved. You brought that up too, Bjorn, on I can do that marketing I always got told no to. Yeah. Oh, that idea I've always had. I'm allowed to do that now. How cool is that? Freedom.
Can I just add something, right?
Yeah.
This is where everyone out there who's scared shitless of us tells everyone, oh, they're a pyramid, right? I want to say it, pyramid. I put the word out there a million times over because they don't know a single thing they're talking about. They are just scared. Because let me tell you what a pyramid is. There's a documentary on Netflix. A pyramid is where people within the pyramid contribute money and there's no external money. It all just comes from within inside the pyramid to pay people up further in the pyramid. That's a pyramid scheme. Guess what that is? That's the traditional franchise you're working at, where you've got the owner of the business who charges, who wants to take all this money from these people. And then you've got the director, board of directors who want to take all this money from people down below. Then you've got the franchise owners who charge all of their people 40%. And then you've got the sales agents who have to give their money to that person above them. And then you've got the junior sales agents underneath them. The pyramid is the traditional freaking model, guys. Wake the hell up. Wake up. Wake up. Stop giving your money to people to make them rich. Like, this is why I'm so passionate. I've got nobody on this call that has anything to do with anybody who will be joining my team. No one on this call is anyone that is joining my team. I was asked by eXp to be here. And I want to get a clear message out to people, guys, you've got to wake up and smell the freaking roses. Like, guys, we are a multi-level marketing company where our income that pays for that comes from home sellers who pay us commissions to sell their properties, which is exactly what you do in a traditional model.
There's no product. The product already exists. People need to live in a house.
Pyramids are illegal, guys, illegal. So next time you hear somebody say, oh, eXp is a pyramid, you know what? They're scared. They're a business owner. They're a business owner who's scared. And they should be scared because their staff are leaving them and they're coming to us because they're sick and tired of that pyramid model that they're in. And they want to go to a model. This is Knights of the Round Table. This is a round table where everybody is equal and everybody else. Now, somebody joins my team, I get $3.5 grand a year from their first $100,000. Whoop-de freaking do. Does that change my life? No.
No.
Could I have gone and listed that property that Callum listed, who's in my team, and earned 10 grand commission myself instead of helping Callum? Yes, I could.
And most people would have in a traditional model too.
Of course they would have, right? But no, there's so much money. I've got more money than what I need. I don't need any more money. I don't want any more money. I want to help other people get what they want, because then I know that one day, you know, I'll have a nice, prosperous life. I believe that if you give, you receive. If you do the right thing by people, it comes back to you. And I'm sick and tired of the traditional real estate model.
That's your faith coming out. I love it.
I'm sick and tired of the traditional real estate model, which is stuck in 1980, where you're paying one person to make them freaking rich, and they've got you brainwashed. It's all about the brand. Oh, they're a pyramid scheme. No, we're not. We are Amazon.
We're just sharing the love. We're just not giving it to one person at the top. We're going, bit for you, bit for you, bit for you. 50, go, more for you.
50% of all the revenue that eXp make, right? And when you work it out, we've got 62,000 agents, right? And they're all paying, say, $220 a month. You've got to understand, guys, 62,000 times $220 a month. That's like $13.5 million coming in a month, right? eXp is not going anywhere. We're not going bust. We're not going broke. Then we've got revenue coming in from the agents that transact, right? So there's 62,000 agents, and each year they're contributing $25,000 to the company. That's, I don't know, $1,550 million, right, guys?
A little bit.
The biggest company in Australia, their net worth is around $500 million as a family. Our founder is worth over 2.6 billion US dollars as an individual. There are agents in eXp, like Richard Tomasini, who are worth more as an agent in net worth than the largest franchise owners in Australia and Australasia. Yep. Guys, wake up. Wake up. This is your wake up call. Now, if you want to come and join us, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm not really fussed. I'm not going to get any benefit, but I'm telling you now, the old way, it's flawed. It's the old way. It's the old way. It's outdated.
So you would have just seen me flick through these last couple of slides here. Obviously, you've talked about property management, keeping 100% of your own asset. They will also help you through different ways to grow that asset. You don't necessarily have to do it yourself. Super cool. We've got some really cool conferences, and Bjorn himself, Mr. Race to Vegas, has just won the Race to Vegas competition that we had on a global scale. So that's super exciting as well. And that was simply for spreading the word about something he already believes in, obviously, because you've heard him talk, and bringing something that he thinks is phenomenal to other people. We have a Regis partnership, so I can pop in there at any point in time. Am I going to go into Melbourne City anytime soon? Absolutely not. I'm sure you've all watched the news. I just want to talk about agent services and some of the things we do offer, because with that 199 plus GST per month, we actually offer everything that you will need in order to do real estate business, right? You can choose from all the partnerships that we offer, or those that we don't, what you're going to take up, not take up. Bjorn's already, let the cat out of the bag on a few of them. So I hope you're writing notes, or that you've got your note in for the recording, so that you can go back and add all those wonderful things to your business. Workplace by Facebook gives me and everybody else access to in excess of 60,000 people across the globe. I can call our CEO right now if I wanted to. That's awesome. I can join different groups. We collaborate all the time. If Bjorn needed something, he would more than likely, rather than searching for it, pop it into our group chat, and within minutes he would have 9 different versions of what he was looking for. That's collaboration.
Can I quickly talk about something with this? Yes. This is important, right?
Why do you like it so much?
David said here something about, can you get leads and that with eXp? Now, I was at an open inspection the other day, spoke to a lady. Yeah. I love the way you guys work. Have you got any property sell? Not here. Do you guys sell in Emerald? I'm thinking, where the hell is Emerald? I've got no idea. I said, where's Emerald? She goes, oh, it's up in Queensland somewhere. I said, whereabouts? Is it near? And she said, it's near. And I said, I've got no idea what you're talking about. I said, in relation to Brisbane, where is it? She's like, it's nowhere near it, right? I'm like, okay. I said, well, look, if you like the way that we work and operate, right, most of us agents at eXp work and share the same sorts of things that we do, because this was an off-market property, right?
Yep.
Off-market property with 30 people at it versus an on-market property with a competitor with 8 people at it, right? So she went to both, and she's like, how come you guys aren't on realestate.com and you've got 30 people here and they've only got 8 people and they're on realestate.com? I said, well, that's eXp.
Because they're still drinking the Kool-Aid.
Because they're still living in 1846, right? And we're doing Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, retargeted marketing, all this cool stuff, right? I'm going to say it. We're using Home Pass Premium. We're networking with our buyers, right? So we're doing all these sorts of cool things. Now, she said, if you know any agents that can work in Emerald, let me know. I put it in the group chat. I said, hello, guys. I've got a seller here who wants to sell a property in Emerald, who loves the eXp way. I've told her a bit about how we work. If anyone can help her, this is her name and number. She's more than open for you to reach out. Now, Dee, who's one of our agents in Queensland, I think in Mackay, sorry, guys.
That's all right.
She reached out and said, Bjorn, I might actually be able to help. Now, I said, that'd be fantastic. She's like, what referral fee do you want? I don't want a referral fee. I just want to help you get a listing. Now, she's got another lady who is apparently working with her or something that actually lives in Emerald. And I'm like, well, there you go. If you guys want a listing, there's a listing right there on a silver platter just given to you. All I need for you to do is, I've told the lady that we work this, and this, and that you'll probably do a fee around about this, which is still a 10 grand fee, right, for a 450K house, which is still good. And I said, she wants to, she wants the Facebook, she wants the Instagram, she wants the YouTube, she wants the video promotion. I said, not a problem at all. So there's agent collaboration right there. Yeah. Where I
did the same, vice versa last week. I had a call from a Queensland agent Hey,
Yep.
who should I be talking to in South Australia? I've got someone that wants to sell that's just purchased up here.
There you
Same
go.
thing globally too, by the way,
Yep.
because I got a nearly $11 million deal together from somebody who sent me a referral for a buyer who was looking to come back to Melbourne from New York who had just sold. So they said, the house I want, go and knock on their door, make it happen. I'll pay you 2.5% plus GST for your trouble. Okay.
So there you go. Workplace is more than just a place for people to chat. It's a place for people to network. And I've sold properties through Workplace with other agents from around the country as well.
Yeah,
so there you go.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we have an amazing CRM system, whether people choose to actually use it to its best ability or not. And you will note that probably 70% of the top 100 agents across Australia will actually utilise Agent Box as well. It's a profitable system. I've used some different CRMs in past time. The beauty of any CRM, Bjorn, is the data you're putting in there and how you choose to use the CRM at the same time, but also what it integrates with, I guess. And here's where I'm really going to let the cat out of the bag, because I'm going to give them a lot of our secrets to what we have. So Agent Box will integrate with everything that you see on your screen here. Okay, so you'll get access to REA forms and realestate.com.au and domain, and you'll get your own email address, and it will connect to your Office 365. You'll get RP data and everything that you need to do real estate, right? But then we have these, these other extras that we also add. So Bjorn's, I guess, told you guys some of this stuff already when he says that I use ActivePipe and that looks after my entire database. I didn't use ActivePipe anywhere near to its ability. I know that you guys do, and you know, Chris in South Australia, he's pretty good at it as well. I didn't use it anywhere near to its ability. I just set and forget it, and I still got amazing results out of it. We've also now at the moment looking at Reader, which I believe some of our agents are having some really amazing feedback from. You've already mentioned things like Home Pass. You know, one of the things I learned from Bjorn in particular was Box County. Amazing.
This is important for people to understand as well, right? So I joined the eXp. I was agent 13, I think, in Australia, right? And I was agent like 27,000, whatever. Oh. So you'd think, come in, Casey. Sorry, mate. One of my guys is here. Come in, Casey. Come and join us. So Casey's just joined us. I don't know if you can see him on the screen there.
Kind of. He's figuring it out. How you going, mate?
Hey,
All right, Casey, you've joined us how long ago?
this is going to be my third week.
Okay, how is it?
Excellent.
How much?
Would?
Anything bad to say about it? Anything that you'd change?
No. I think I like everything.
This wasn't a
I was trying to
setup.
get yeah, it wasn't.
This wasn't a setup. I told him to come around so I could help him with some stuff.
Should have told you we're having people join you.
But the thing is, with this here, like I said, as being a small little agent, I said, guys, we've got this Home Pass thing, but we've only got it as a standard, so we can't send the group SMSs out for free. It'd be really great if we could send them out for free. Put that through to Stephen Lee at the time, who was the head of operations at that time before M here, the beautiful Emily has taken over, the amazing Emily. And we spoke about it as well, and we put it towards Stephen, and Stephen's like, well, put the pitch to corporate in the United States as to how it's going to benefit agents. We told them, and next thing you know, we've got Home Pass. And next thing you know, agents are selling properties left, right, and center using it. So even though we are a big global company, if somebody's got a great idea, we can pitch it, and if it's a good idea that's going to benefit everybody, it'll get thought about. Same thing with Reader as well, when we spoke about that, and we talked to people about Reader, and now we've got Reader as well, which is a prospecting system, which is basically automatingly prospecting your database and mining your database. So there's
even social media. Like I've just got up my brand awareness and lead generation campaign going for the next 3 months, which is pretty price competitive in comparison to what else I've seen out there. And again, it's just another layer of partnership, of giving to people. You might choose to have, as in front of you, digital proposal. It's completely up to you. It's completely customizable. There's your lovely face, Bjorn. So, you know, this is a little bit of an example of how some of it could look. I don't use anything with a white background. I only like black background stuff. So that's just me. And I can have that. And that's, again, what I love. I've always said, hey, let's have this sign because it's awesome and I love it. You know, I might go to Courtney in marketing and go, I don't really like the white one. Can we have the black one? And can we have that as an example? Yeah, okay. And then she sends it through to me. Yes. And then the third one, your brand, you might be bright orange. That's okay too. And the cool thing is it is eXp. And so we have a little bit more scope. I guess I always say the handcuffs are off with eXp. You can actually run your business and your brand. You can run it as your own brand. You can run it under eXp, dependent on whether you've got your full license or not, of course. And so I hope that with myself talking, with Bjorn, we've got Casey there, I just really want to reiterate some of the core values that you see on the screen. Hopefully from today, you already understand that they exist because we've had, you know, people within the business talking about how much they love it. So whoever invited you here today, absolutely go back and have a chat to and say next step. You need to go to join our team at eXp Australia and actually scroll down to a little screen that says become an agent and then fill out that paperwork. Because as Bjorn has said, my goodness me, you can choose to do it now. You can choose to do it later. We have a couple of sayings here is once you see it, it's really hard to unsee it. It's hard to almost stop thinking about it. And I always say to people, if it's not now, it's further on down the track. It's usually just a timing thing, like Bjorn's already stressed. So I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to those who have joined us. I am going to stop the recording now to give people a little bit of a